Yo, what's up? My name is Rodney MC Shakie Roussel, all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana.
They pulled me over. I got a charge in Orleans Parish of battery, a charge in Jefferson Parish of racketeering, 300 counts of this and 200 counts of that, all these different counts of all kind of shit. My bond was set at $300,000. If you're watching this, I'm probably in prison. If you're watching this before I go to prison, I don't know, but I'm recording it before I go to prison, but I'm on my way to prison. I was sentenced to 70 months in the feds on last Tuesday.
Say, bruh, let me take y'all back to them Louisiana streets where names don't just live on mailboxes, they echo in courthouse hallways. This dude right here, Rodney Roussel, the block know him better as MC Shakie, that bounce music mouthpiece, the so-called official host of New Orleans Bounce. He wasn't just rocking the mic, nah, he was trying to flip life itself, moving from bounce dreams to bank schemes. But see, the story don't start on no stage with bright lights. Nah, homie been on the radar since way back in the game. 12 had that boy named highlighted bold by the time 2004 rolled around. That year, New Orleans police came through heavy for autographs, just handcuffs, charges stacked on them quick. 4 counts of identity theft, 1 count of forgery, plus extra shit just for good measure. Rodney lived like paperwork was clay he could bend. Apartment leases signed off in somebody else's name. Cars scooped up with stolen socials. Phone bills registered to people who ain't even know they had a new number. Dude had more fake IDs than the college bar on homecoming night. Detectives peeped it. Everything about his setup was counterfeit from top to bottom. Word on the street since 2004, that boy Rodney been eating off other people's info. Detectives stamped him the main player. Imagine your rap name being MC Shakie, but the headlines read he shook down everybody's pocket instead. In the nightlife, he thought he was slick. Police called him slipping outside Candace nightclub. But when they popped the trunk on his whip, boom, IDs with his face with other people's names. His credit cards all tied to stolen identities. That boy was juggling fake paperwork like it was nothing. Then came the Metairie operation. Rodney set up shop in an apartment on North Elm Street, running printers like a small factory. He laced checks with a FastTag Inc. logo, made them look like refund anticipation loans. 11 people tried to cash them all over the city. Total damage, $70,000 and some change. One little Circle M convenience store alone took a $40,000 hit. That's the type of L that closes shop. Lee scooped up 11 folks linked to the hustle. But Rodney, they say he might have dipped off to Houston, always ducking, always moving. Problem was, his record was on repeat. Forgery, fraud, access device abuse, same dirty moves every single time. By this point, dude wasn't respected for bounce music. He was notorious for bouncing checks. I fast forward a few years, Rodney's paper games caught up with him. He got swallowed up by the system. But what went down inside them Louisiana jail, that wasn't no regular bid. Nah, homie claimed he got broken down in ways that don't never heal. He bounced through close to 20 facilities between 2005 and 2017. Orleans Parish, Union Parish, East Baton Rouge, Lafourche, Catalua, Claiborne, Riverbend, like a pinball machine in an arcade. Every joint he hit, it was the same routine. Cells colder than your baby's mama attitude. And girls who didn't give a damn if you breathe or not. In 2011 and again in 2013 at that Union Parish Detention Center, Rodney said he got stripped of his dignity over and over. He even wrote a whole federal complaint from behind them bars, pen on paper, 2.5 pages of pain. He filed it on March 7, 2014, alleging civil rights violation, saying staff ignored his cries. Deputies clowned him for being too feminine, and that instead of protection, he got pushed further into harm's way. He even had to pay another inmate just to stand by him. That's like hiring muscle in a world where weakness gets taxed. And when that so-called protection got yanked, the threats came right back, like Shaw circling for fresh blood. Guards told him straight up it was his fault. Imagine that. You the one being broken down, and they blamed that boy because he was his opponent. Rodney put it in black and white. The assault started barely a week after he got placed in Union Parish. Then in June 2013, after he got moved for a federal warrant and came back, that boy said they denied him the safe housing he begged for. Same nightmare, different day. By the time the New York Times rolled cameras in 2018, Rodney wasn't quiet no more, sitting there in front of the lens. He spilled it raw. He said, "I lost me here. I lost my humanity here." And while late night hosts on TV was out here cracking jokes about what goes down behind bars, Rodney was living proof. Them jokes cut deeper than laughs.
He's the one who famously said, "I'd take a bullet for Donald Trump." Well, now that he's looking at prison time, we'll see if he's willing to take a dick.
It showed Rodney scrolling through jailhouse pics while his voice told the world what really happens when he was locked up in cages that didn't care. By 2013, the courts already had Rodney on the hook. Counterfeit checks, forgery, access device fraud, the whole shopping list. Judge slammed him with 5 years in the feds, plus a restitution tab of over 60 bands. That was money he ain't had, and everybody in the room knew it. That boy came out on supervised release. The system don't forget. Less than a grand of that restitution got paid. So in 2019, they even tried to go into his wages. At some barbecue spot he was clocking in at. Imagine pretending to serve ribs while Uncle Sam scratching half that boy's paycheck before he even clocked out. But then he lost the job and the judge had to let the garnishment slide. Now check the irony. In 2017, dude lands a gig with a company out in New Orleans through one of them re-entry programs. You know, second chances, fresh starts, and to help cast for records get back on their feet. They paid him a salary, gave him incentives just for sticking with the job, even dropped rental assistance to keep him housed. On paper, that looked like redemption. That boy Rodney wasn't playing the redemption song. Behind the curtains, he was plotting to go with his move again. He had this side hustle, MC and Associates Management, a company he kept low-key, didn't even tell his re-entry folks about it. They were helping him pay rent, but turns out the house he was staying in leased straight through MC and Associates. So basically, he was funneling their help right back into his own pockets. April 2018, Rodney went full throttle. He slid into that Chase Bank web portal and mobile app like it was a back door to the money vault. 18 separate times between April and June, he siphoned bread out of the company's A account, a grand total of $213,372. Straight up six-figure heist, digital, and where it all went to wipe out debts on the Chase card tied to MC and Associates. That card was dripping with charges from Amazon, Costco, Sam Club, straight personal spending. Dude turned his boss's account into his own cashback rewards program. Problem was, Rodney didn't have no clearance to touch none of that. He was an employee, not a signatory. But greed don't care about job titles. He kept running it up till June 2018. At the time Company A peeped the missing money in 2019, it was already gone. Paid off in bulk shipments of big box purchases. Just like that, the man who was hired to show proof of rehabilitation ended up showing proof of repetition. Same hustle, new tool. By early 2022, the gig was up. One of his little partners turned in his computer. Feds didn't just waste time dressing it up fancy. It hit that boy with a bill of information. That's Feds talk for we know you did it and we think you gonna play ball.
I get a text from like one of the text dial numbers or unknown number saying, I want $5,000 or you go get your computer back. So I text them back, I'm like, who this is? And I'm like, what computer? What's going on? Where you at? Things like that. They didn't message back. Bitch ended up calling me and was like, yeah, I got your computer, but I'm gonna need some money before I get it back. I said, bitch, I wouldn't even pay you a dime for that. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you and that computer. I'm not paying. I don't do no motherfucking ransom. Fuck you. I can't be charged with another computer. I always thought that because it was not my possession, and you really have to prove you got to connect so many dots. And I'm thinking I'm smarter than the average bear. He ended up posting online, showing me that he got into the computer and he knew where a lot of things was. Of course, it's like fake IDs. He posted this on his Instagram. Now, it means nothing for public opinion. Everybody in New Orleans know, bitch, Shakie is a scam. Shakie's not Shakie don't scam us, but if you got some, if them Johnny white folks ain't gonna be too safe. They know that. Then the next thing you know, I had to hear about him. There was like a lot of people were calling him. It was like, go to Pikachu Live, go to Pikachu Live. So I get on my burn page and I go to Pikachu Live. And outside of the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, right? He has the computer. And he's telling people, y'all want to see me rat on MC Shakie? Y'all, no. Y'all want to see me turn this computer in? Turn this computer in, somebody send me on, turn MC Shakie computer in, send me $50.
He waived indictment, which in their world usually means cooperations on the table. Paperwork laid it out clear. Between April and June 2018, he funneled over $213,000 from Company A's Chase bank account. His own pockets, no disguise, no middleman, just raw transactions through the web portal and mobile app. January 7, 2022, the charges became official. 1 count of bank fraud, maximum penalty, 30 years in the feds, $1 million fine, and 5 years of supervised release, plus that $100 special fee. The system always throws in like a cover charge. Rodney stood in front of Judge Greg Gidrick in New Orleans and pled guilty. That was it. The paper trail spoke louder than any alibi could. Plus, dude had already went with the move on him by turning in the computer. He admitted he used his employer's account to pay down debts to his own MC and Associates Chase card. 18 hits in 2 months. No way around it. By July 12, 2022, sentencing came down heavy. Judge Gidrick gave him 70 months, just shy of 6 years in federal prison. 5 years supervised release after that, $100 mandatory fee, and restitution to Company A for the full total sum of $113,372. On top of that, he had to forfeit every dime he pulled from the scheme. That moment was a no bounce show, no vlog spotlight. It was the system putting the final stamp on years of hustles, charges, and courtroom cameos. The same man, once hyped as the official host of New Orleans Bounce, now locked in as a repeat offender on the federal books. And the gavel hit in July 2022. That was the last chapter written in black and white. 70 months in federal time, 5 more years on the leash afterwards. Restitution tagged heavy at over $213,000. The same man who once rocked the mic as MC Shakie, pumping up bounce crowds in New Orleans, now stood as an inmate number in the federal system. Everything stacked from early identity scams to counterfeit runs to the re-entry program hustle that backfired on the very people who tried to give them a lane back. By the end, the streets, the feds, the courts, they all knew the same thing. Rodney's paper trail finally burned him. Plus, dude straight up snitched on him. That sentence didn't just close his case. It cemented his whole reputation, not as an artist, not as a host, not as a vlogger, but as a cautionary tale out of Louisiana. And with that, story hits a stop sign.